right, so this one's going to be a little quicker than the other talks for like MVP and Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, anything like that. Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to be a little biased here, but to me it's TJ Watt. I know a lot of people say Micah Parsons, a lot of people say Myles Garrett, but TJ's stats, they're just better than both of those guys. They are. And one thing that's going to hurt Myles' case is that Cleveland, they cannot move up in the draft order, nor can they move down. They are locked in at number 5. So what's the point in playing Myles Garrett? Why risk an injury? They're going to rest him, and he'll play in the wild card round. But Micah Parsons for Dallas, they're trying to win the division, so they're probably going to play. They're locked into the playoffs, but they can win their division if they beat the Commanders. But Pittsburgh is still fighting for a playoff spot. They have not locked in a playoff spot. And while, yes, they can lose and make the playoffs if certain things go their way, it's easier to just win and see what happens. So they're really going to try to beat Baltimore, and they're going to be desperate to beat Baltimore. So TJ Watt will play, which is going to be a benefit for him. He's going to get these little bit of extra stats. So then you're not talking on a per game basis. Though TJ does only have 17 sacks. I should pause. I know I'm about to say only 17 sacks. 17 is a very, very impressive number. And it actually is tied for the league lead in sacks with Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati. Josh Allen in Jacksonville, I think he's at 16 and a half. There's a bunch of guys right up there. So when I say only 17, it feels bad saying that because it's such an impressive number. But with him having 17 sacks and the NFL record being 22 and a half, I doubt he gets 6 sacks in this game to beat the record. But I could see him possibly cracking 20, let's say. If he cracks 20, then we'll see what happens. He would most likely lead the league in sacks. And he would be the first player in NFL history to lead the league in sacks in 3 separate seasons. Don't have to do it 3 seasons in a row. Just 3 seasons in a career. That might very well help his argument or his case for Defensive Player of the Year. So to me, it's TJ. Could Myles get it? Yeah, maybe. PFF seems to be just desperately in love with him. Could Micah get it? Maybe, but the issue with Micah Parsons is that he's ending this season very similar to last season, where in the last, they talk about it on Undisputed all the time, but it's like the last X amount of games he played last year, he only got a sack and a half. And in the month of December, this year, he only got a sack and a half. So he's literally copying last year where, he's 10, 11 sacks. He's right at the top of the league, and then down. Just can't get a sack towards the end of the season, and that hurts his odds for Defensive Player of the Year. It does. Simple as that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Could I see Trey Hendrickson? Maybe, but on a team that didn't make the playoffs. I know MVP, it's got to be a quarterback of a team who made the playoffs. You got to have a high seed, blah, 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 blah. So maybe not Trey Hendrickson because he didn't make the playoffs. Josh Allen in Jacksonville, maybe if they make the playoffs, but it might be my Steelers fan biased, but to me, it's TJ Watt. And could other guys win it? Sure. You know what? I got one. DaRon Bland. When he was at, I think, 4 pick sixes, before he had broken the record, 4 pick sixes, I said, I tweeted out, he is an underrated Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Well, like, the game after that, he got his 5th, which I think broke the record. And, God, who was it? It was some site said, tweeted something about how he's, could win Defensive Player of the Year. I'm like, you're like 4 days late on that. I think it was 4 or 5 days after I tweeted that he broke the record. And it was like, hey, hi, hello. Yeah, if you're a day late and $1 short, guess what? You're 4 days late and $4 short. Because I was already on that before he broke the record. So if you were to tell me, hey, DaRon Bland, he broke the record for most pick sixes in a season, and he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, I guess I can't be mad at it. He did do something that no one's ever done before. So like TJ Watt, when he got his 22.5 2 years ago. Okay, he tied Strahan's record, which no one had ever done. He was this close to breaking the record, if not for, one kind of weird ruling in the Baltimore game, which had it been in his favor, because it's like, oh, it was a fumble and he picked it up, so now he's a runner. He's not a quarterback, whatever. But he was very close to having the record, which, okay, fine, whatever. But he had tied Strahan's record, 22.5. It's like, okay, this is an NFL record. Now you're Defensive Player of the Year. So could I see someone else getting it? Yes. But I really think it's TJ Watt. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who is the Defensive Player of the Year? And if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you are new, and turn notifications on. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.